Hey, it's Dalton from Daltonian's TF Reviews, and number one for 2013 is Blitzwing. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's get this guy out of here. He's crap. No, number one is the Generations Springer. Now this is legit. I'm not joking. This is serious now. But I just thought I'd throw that in there just to be funny. But yeah, Springer. Number one figure in my opinion, best one we've gotten so far for last year, and I don't know anyone who would probably disagree with me. I mean, so much engineering went into this that it just blew a lot of people's expectations out of the water. It blew the Fans Project's Warbot Defender out of the water. I love this thing. It's the definitive version of Springer now for most people. And no, this is not his, so let's get this out of here. But as you can see, I like posing him with this shotgun from Bruticus. I will be getting that Rainstorm kit from Dr. Wu, so look forward to a possible review on that when I can get a hold of it. But yeah, very nice looking figure, and you can store his weapons back here. Let's go ahead and take those off. Got a very nicely detailed, well, not a lot of detail, but just nicely molded sword. Kind of like what they did there with the little ridges. And then that looks a lot like a little mini port on the hilt. That can go right into his hand, just like that. Get that together. Then his tool-barreled rocket launcher, which works with those little friction missiles. So you push forward on this, launches one, then the other, just like a regular double barrel shotgun. And see, just regular friction fire missiles, those go right back into place. And then we got a little pivot here for vehicle mode, and I guess you can use it for different poses, like if you want him holding his wrist down like that. Go ahead and put that in his hand. Yeah, let's go ahead and get those out of here, and let's move on to the articulation of this guy. You can see here, very nice light piping. I love that. Just those wicked, bright blue eyes. I love that about this guy, and the head sculpt on him. Let me try and get a close up here. Yeah, very nicely done. Looks a lot like both his show model in the G1 series and the IDW character. And you can also see all the molded detail that went in through here. You got little like rivets there. Just all throughout this guy. Molded detail everywhere. Love that with the tires and the paint on the inside. Yep. Go ahead and move that out. As you see, his head is on a ball joint, albeit a little bit stiff. And his shoulders on a little hinge, actually, yeah, a little hinge here and a ball joint on the inside of the shoulders, so you get nice range of movement there. I really like all that. Right here you got, as you can see, a ratcheting elbow joint, a little bit, yeah, a little bit more, 90 degrees actually. It rotates at the bicep. He's got a little bit of wrist movement here, and that's mainly due to transformation, and he rotates at the wrist. So it's really good there. And here at the waist, now you need to pull this out a little bit. You know what I've found to do, just fold that up, just pull it out a little, and you get waist articulation. Then for the legs, in and out on a universal joint, forward, back, not so far back, a lot further forward. Gets hindered on this little piece right here. He's got thigh swivel. He's got this weird little outward joint that's for transformation. You've got a nice ratcheting knee joint. So just a little over 90 there. A little bit of pivot at the foot, not much else. But that's mainly due to transformation as well. And, you know, for those who are bigger fans of the Generation 1 figure than the IDW, you can have these out like this for the IDW comics, or fold them down, and there you've got your G1 Classics Springer. I'll also bring in his mold part, well, mostly mold partner, but heavily retooled version. We got Sandstorm there. Whoop, keep him from falling back. Yeah, he's very top heavy with all this stuff added to his back, but you know, same thing with him with the articulation. So this review is for both of these guys. So, but mainly for Springer because this was the original mold. But he comes in very close to him. So these guys both tie at first place. So we'll go ahead and get him out of the way. We'll focus on transformation for this guy. Just flip down this panel here, flip in his hand, close that up. Same thing on the other side. Can you get it? Come on. There we go. Hold that up. Now we're going to go ahead and take him to his helicopter mode. So you want to straighten his arms out just like that. You want to take this little tab right here, plug it right into there. So just untab it from there. Make sure that tabs into there. Again on the other side, same thing. Just like that. Now here you want to fold this panel down and make sure that, yeah, this little piece right here, this little triangle piece, is pointing straight down. And we'll rotate that up until you get that little tab there to that slot right there. And that just tabs in just like that. And we'll make sure this window is closed. We'll do the same thing for the other side, so fold that straight down. Fold that. Oh, you want to make sure that this piece stays with this little fin piece. So my mistake there. Plug that right into. Whoop. Gotta make sure that's straight. Then plug it in. Close it. You can see he's starting to fall apart here. You want to make sure his head is pointing partially down just like that, and rotate this nose cone piece up, and it will go right outside of his head. Tab that into place, flip it down, and here you want to rotate these little fin pieces out just like that, just to get them out of the way. And fold down these little knee spikes. Those will become the landing gear of the helicopter. And what you want to do is just fuse the legs together, just like that. You got a tab here and a hole there. Just make sure those legs tab in together just like that. And straighten out the feet, just like that. Flip up the little fins here. That will become the rear of the helicopter. You want to rotate this up to about there. Rotate that down. Flip back this panel. Now, mine won't tab into place for some reason, but just lay it on there just like that. You want to rotate these sections back on that double hinge, just like that. There you've got most of his helicopter mode. Let me rotate this camera down. You want to take the sword, split it down right here, just like that. Flip this up and plug this little piece right here right into there. Now you've got Springer in his helicopter mode, and I've got to say, you know, I love this helicopter mode. It works so well for Springer, just having that Cybertronian look. You see all that nice painted and molded detail throughout the vents in there. Yeah, very nice, and spins. It's got a good balance considering the fact that his rear landing gear are so close together. Let's see, a little wobbly. Then you flip that landing gear in, and there's these two little prongs right there, and these two little pieces right here. What you want to do, just go under here. Just, come on. There we go. Just tab that into there, and now you've got a under the cockpit mounted cannon for them. I don't really mind having that on there. It just gets in the way and it's kind of heavy. But we'll go ahead and I'll bring Sandstorm in here in a second, so be right back. Alright, we're back, and here is Sandstorm in his hovercraft mode. Well, not hovercraft, the vertical takeoff helicopter. I went ahead and added the launcher just to show you that with this launcher on this figure, it lifts him really far off the ground up here. Because he uses the shorter landing gear pieces, which this is remolded. This is all remolded throughout here. This is wider. This is a new piece. This is all a new piece back here. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take this off. Flip out the landing gear. And there's the two, I guess, flight mode vehicles side by side. It's not bad. I'm stuck somewhere in between with these two. I really like this helicopter, but something about this vertical takeoff vehicle I really like. I just wish the colors were more G1 accurate, just more orange instead of more yellow. But that aside, we'll move him out of the way, and here's his little launcher. And it's just a single missile pullback pressure launch, so it's kind of the worst gun of this line for the figures other than Blitzwings. The look of it isn't very appealing to me, so I'll just go ahead and get that out of here. Bring this camera back up here. Alright, now we'll get this guy into his car mode. Just pull this off. And flip the landing gear up. I'll just go ahead and leave those there for a second. Bring these forward. There we go. You want to flip open this here. First, I guess you want to pull this up and back. And make sure this is pressed all the way down. You do not want it just sitting up like that. So just press that all the way down. Then you'll rotate this around to about there. You want to make sure this fin goes underneath where the leg is, so just like that. Make sure the window piece tabs in there. It's not a perfect tab in, but I'll try and get that while we're finishing up the vehicle mode. Again, same thing on this side. Make sure it goes in, tabs on under there. We'll rotate these around. Press those into there just like that. Again, just like that. Want to straighten out these legs pieces. It's about there. You want to untab here, rotate this piece out while rotating the tail fin around and making sure that's flat. You want that little tab right there to go into that hole right there. So just like that. Same thing on this side, around, flatten, tab that right into there. Just make sure it's all together. And from here you want to flip up the, probably like that, flip it back into a sword. There's these two little holes right there. And these little tabs right there. You want to make sure that, straighten that out and peg it in. And just lay this down here and rotate both of these little landing gear pieces down. There you got the bottom of the car. Again, just make sure everything's tabbed in together. Make sure it's in place, just like that. Now you are left with a few little gaps here and there, but it's not too bad. Oh, let me get this. For some reason, there we go. Then, come on. There we go. There you got the car mode. Then you can take the gun here and plug it where we plug the helicopter blade into. So just like that. There you've got him in his armored car mode. Yeah, very nice, and you can see it rolls very nicely. But kind of doesn't stand very well with the sword down there. There we go. It's still a little wobbly. Also has to do with these not staying in place. There we go. But you got this back here, very open, and but one thing I like to do here is just bring these forward, just like that. And there you got them, kind of looking like a Batmobile. So I thought that was really cool. But we'll move him out of the way. No, right there, and I'll be right back with Sandstorm in his vehicle mode. Alright, and now we're back, and here is Sandstorm. So you can see he looks a lot bigger than Springer does. That's mainly because of all this added stuff onto the back here. But you can see here that this little nose piece of the car is a lot bigger, a little bit wider than this one, especially right here near the front. You can see that the model differences up front, the new bumper and headlights here compared to this here. You can see that he's got this big wheeled section back here to make him a dune buggy, and I love how the colors work here. If there was just a little bit more orange, say here, back here, it would have worked perfectly, and then a little bit silver on these bumper pieces, which I might get the Takara version of this. So you can see you can also put the gun up here as kind of like a little turret. But again, if you don't want it, you can remove that. Then you've got the tail fin of the vertical takeoff vehicle to become little armored window pieces, which if you don't want that, you can just rotate this back, yeah, just like that, and you can have a big spoiler piece for the vehicle, which I always thought that was cool. You can just flip those back just like in robot mode. Now I forgot to mention this in robot mode, you can either have it, like this for the Generation 1 cartoon, or fold it up and out of the way. So just go ahead and fold these back down. But you can see, very nice, and again, rolls well. So yeah, of 2013, these two guys, this overall Springer mold is probably the best figure to get. If you don't have these guys, please pick them up. They are worth the time and the money. Unlike what's coming out with the repaint of the Blitzwing, this figure actually improves some of the things that were wrong with Springer, like through here and the windows not tabbing in right. This makes a solid attempt of fixing that window problem, and it actually uses solid pieces here. So, pick these guys up if you ever get the chance. If you haven't already, again, they are worth the money. So that's pretty much it. This has been my my number one pick for 2013 for the figures that came out that year. And of the figures that I've got, I would say Soundwave would be number one, but I do not have him, so I don't have any thoughts about him yet. But these two are my top of the top 5, so get them whenever you can. And that's pretty much it. Well, see you later. Alright, before I completely forget, let's do a quick size comparison of these guys. Let's bring in some other wreckers. Here we've got the Fans Projects Ultra Magnus City Commander set. Let's put him right there. We'll bring in... Let's go ahead and bring in Sandstorm right here. And here's Protector. There's Cup. And there's Blur. So, move the camera back and you can see there's my little group of wreckers so far. Plan on getting the Apex and Geminis kit along with the upcoming roll. Oh, and I also forgot a little custom I did. Let's bring in Rotor Storm. So, there's my full group of wreckers so far. Hoping to get Perceptor and the Demolition Crew from Mech Ideas, so look forward to those sometime possibly after BotCon here in about 6 months. So we'll see you on the next video here in about a day or so. Bye.